Hey there, guys, and good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. And welcome back to another Slime Ranch episode here on the Far Far Range. If you don't remember, last episode we ended by collecting most of the golden plorts from Hobson's Vault. However, we lost a sizable amount of them to rabid largos. I mean, they were biting at me. What could I do? But either way, I started today by feeding our slimes, as usual, starting in the main area of the ranch before moving into the grotto and then finally the undergrowth. Placing the food in the auto feeders for each corral, I collected up a bunch of phase lemons from the undergrowth, I don't remember, and incinerated them for our fire slimes because they eat ash. And after feeding all of them, I collected up and stored the plorts. However, there weren't really many of them going up in value, so I only actually ended up selling the crystal and rock ones. But I did store the rest either in the silos or in the refinery for use later in slime science. that, I headed through the teleporter in our lab and over to the lab of Victor Humphreys, our good scientist friend. I began a run of the slimeulation. And I actually had a really good start. I found lots of suspicious objects in the moss blanket, and I collected lots of glitch slimes to transform into bug plorts. Along the way, I actually encountered a briar chickadee for the first time, which isn't something I really thought I'd be saying anytime soon. But either way, as I'd never seen one before, I got the Slimepedia entry for the chick. And later on, I actually found a golden slime in the slimeulation as well, which was definitely not something I expected to see, and definitely wasn't even something I thought could even spawn there, but unfortunately it got away before I could collect any of its plorts. Finally, I headed up to the dry reef area where I collected up the last of the glitch slimes of the run because, the tar bug started and they were going to bite me and steal all my glitch slimes, which I didn't want because I needed those guys for bug ports. So I escaped through an exit portal as the tar bug began to spread. After all, in total, I collected 111 glitch slimes, which were transformed into bug reports on the return to the Far range, and transferred them over to Victor, giving me 6 manifold cubes and a meeting with the man himself, where, here's what he said. Something's not right. Not right at all. The simulation I've been running to predict your performance on this project is not matching your results at all. How is this possible? I rely on my simulations for everything and they've always made life easier. But what if they're wrong? Or what if some other element exists that even I can't simulate? I would need to create an entirely new formula to compensate for this finding. And what would that mean for my previous simulations? Or the experiences and people I passed on, because I need to think on this. I've added my advanced drone blueprint to your lab. It should prove very useful to you according to my calculations. Well, I hope so at least. Now I need to think on this right away. But please collect more bug reports in the slimeulation. I'm very close to isolating the source of the bug that is responsible for producing glitch slimes. In return, I'll prepare a substantial reward for you. Run diagnostic on simulation 392296. Username V Humphreys. Password Murph. I'm sorry. I slipped into my work again without saying goodbye. Looking forward to your results. Goodbye. Well, after Victor left, I indeed was granted the recipe to make the advanced drones. A new tool I would definitely find myself loving later. In fact, I immediately returned to the ranch and made one, placing it in the main area by the range exchange. And after messing around in programming for a little bit, I managed to activate it, and I programmed it to collect fruits and veggies from around the gardens and place them in the auto feeders for me. Because, I can't be bothered to do that myself. Finally, I returned to my house and bedded down for the night. I awoke the next day on the morning of day 67 on the ranch, and I began by heading over to the docks area to harvest the resource siphons. After collecting them up, I began heading back through the ranch to collect up the others, but I got caught up watching the drone harvest the Oka Okas and feed them to the Boon Radlagos. I mean, by now I'd started taking a liking to them, but I sadly didn't have time to see it fulfill its whole mission. I also had work to do after all. So, after leaving the drone, I headed out of the ranch onto the dry reef, and I actually immediately noticed a new path that I hadn't travelled before. Hopping over, I soon found a black treasure pod that I had yet to open. Opening it up, I got 2 deep brine and 1 lava dusk, which was actually really good because it actually meant I finally had enough to make a pair of teleporters. I finally had enough deep brine for it. And so I could go travelling off to far places like the glass desert a lot quicker. But either way, after collecting the treasure pod, I headed through the dry reef into the indigo quarry, where the music was not only still exceptional, but the next set of siphons were located. Harvesting them, I noticed a couple of tar slimes jumping around, so naturally I doused them with a generous soaking of water. After dealing with the vile tar, I headed into the quarry cave where I actually found a second black treasure pod for today. This one only had a royal fashion pod however, so there's not much use to us. Either way, after collecting the treasure pod, I did a whirlwind tour of the far range and I collected first the moss blanket siphons. And then I headed through to the ruined siphons. And finally, I returned to the ranch to collect the lab siphons. Since I was at the lab already, I actually quickly crafted up that grey teleporter set, as well as a second advanced drone for the grotto. After leaving the lab, I actually went and fed the slimes within the grotto and set up that drone to yet again make my life a little easier. After leaving the grotto slimes, I then headed through the main area and finally to the overgrowth as well, and as I travelled I collected up the plorts along the way, went to sell them. However, there still unfortunately weren't that many going up in value, so this time we sold the hunter plorts and the dervish plorts. Like before, I stored the rest before heading into my hut to sleep for the night. Whilst inside, I actually bought the 7ZE, no, it's not the second 7ZE upgrade, I don't know why I thought that. The next 7ZEE upgrade, which was actually another layer on the slime statue outside, so it had 2 layers now. And it was actually now that I realised that the advanced drones on our ranch needed watering to work. I needed to water them, and they'd go to sleep without it. I mean, these things are amazing. I love them. They're so cute. They're great. But either way, I watered them before setting up one of the grey teleporters on the ranch. Then headed out through the grotto into the indigo quarry. And through the ancient ruins in order to link up the second grey teleporter to give us a much quicker method of accessing the desert. And either way, I think that is where I'm going to cut it here for today. So, as usual, make sure to leave a comment down below telling me what you thought. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and make sure to share my channel with your friends to help me grow and help me continue doing this in the future. But either way, until next time on the ranch, I'll see you later. Bye bye!